thank you so much for tuning in for part 2. I'm so excited. I am back again with my guests here, Demarius and Arion. And if you did not check out part 1, please, please, please go back and listen to part 1 and then jump back into part 2.
Yes.
All right. So the last time we left off, we were talking about character and our identity, and what are some things, even if it was something, I don't share, anything that you still, you got to feel comfortable. So you give, I got a therapist here. So you give you permission to, don't have to do anything that you don't like. But character wise, how have you seen, because identity is important in who we are, but then we talk about character matters. So how has, the character development, because that is a process too. Because sometimes people look at you, especially young people, and they will like, oh, they this and that, but not realizing that this is a journey to character development. And so there's some things that one person may really zero in and really get, and then another one may struggle with, and vice versa. But we're all on these individual journeys. I always say, don't give us a license to do what we want to do. But we are on this journey. So can either of you talk to character development?
Yeah, I think for me, and I don't mind being transparent, that I was struggling with loving my enemies, and we wrestled.
We wrestled. We wrestled. We be doing some. Me and him, but we didn't got there over the last 3 years. I think we got somewhere. People don't. I have to say this because people don't think that. People just think, because people think that you're around certain people that they get it easy. No, the ones that's probably around me are the ones that's probably getting it more than anybody. With me being very honest and upfront with them. And so Demarius and I have had some years of wrestling. Yeah. Wrestling. But I think
But thank the Lord, we're here now. Thank the Lord.
I was teasing him because just the other day someone came in and Demarius asked them, did you talk to your leaders or whomever about what you're doing? And they said, well, the thing is I don't answer to nobody. I make my own decisions and my own choices. And I looked at the person and Demarius said, oh, okay. I very much will understand. And I told that person, nuh-uh. Don't you see, I got a lot of work to do. I got some work to do with you. And I said, don't. Because I said, Demarius, I haven't heard that. And I was so very proud of you because you would vote now, whether or not you feel it, you would voicefully say that just like, and I'm like, no. Yeah. No, like, let's bring this back. Because that's like you're unteachable. You're not trainable. You're not listening if you come off like that. But I must say that I have seen so much. Now this is 12 years. I think it's 12 years. You were 10 years of working with Demarius and knowing him since he was 12 years old.
That's right.
And so that's a lot of time and working together. But I looked at that person like, oh Lord. But Demarius, you will be able to help me with helping that individual have a different outlook. So tell us some of your story.
Doc, when I'm mastering it. But no, I think speaking to that journey of, from 12 to 22 now, really just recognizing that I struggle with loving my enemies. I was raised to love very hardly, very loyal, very close, tight-knit family. And so anytime that I felt offense, my automatic response was, you're cut. And I want you to feel that you're cut, and I want you to know that you're cut by any means necessary. And
well, I'm glad we can laugh.
Doc wasn't having it. And you hear, I've been a church boy my whole life, so that's there. But those who know, like church and then actually experiencing Christ are two different things. And so I heard about the forgiveness stuff and, love your enemies, and, all of the stuff that the Lord actually teaches, but actually applying it, no, I just was not doing it, because once I counted you as an enemy, you were marked and you were going to remain an enemy. But through that journey, really getting that teaching.
I said mark them the other day. I hope that did not trigger you.
No, it didn't. No.
I was talking to mark them.
No,
Demarius said,
yeah. No, but in a different way. You still got to mark people.
Yeah,
Still got to mark people. But no, in a different way now. So we went through in our Bible studies through facilitation. One of our series was forgiveness. And you still talking about character development. So I'm really through that I was able to forgive. So I'll just say donor. Excuse the other one, but donor. I'm sorry, Apostle. I hope I didn't offend you. But donor. Go ahead. And so I forgave him. You know, I really forgave him. For the infidelity with my mother, for leaving her single to raise 3 children, and then just not being at any point in time active at all, at any point. And so through that process, really being able to forgive was hard for me, but I released it because I learned that forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. I was in bondage. And didn't realize it until really, because growing up, like I said, I don't know, and that this is not about that, but I'm just using that example. Right. But growing up, I didn't feel like I was missing anything, you know, because I don't know them, you know. So all I know is my mom, my 2 sisters, and my grandparents. That's all I knew. Like I said, very tight-knit family. So it wasn't anything, okay. But once I got into like coming into manhood, it's like, oh, okay. Well, I can't be as emotional. You know, I can't be, I didn't have a father, so I didn't know. You know, I can't just go and tell you, you know, what it is and what it's going to be all the time, you know. And we were in wrestling.
Wrestling. That's the word of the day, wrestling.
But we were in a meeting Praise one time because I've always been, and to Doc's point, I definitely don't have it easy. I like to think I've been her most recurring office meeting person ever.
Okay.
Yeah, Demarius, I need to meet with you. Come back, you know. So I've always been in the office all the time. And so one of the times I was in the office getting my back dug in, that's what I say. Getting my back dug in, I can be calm at first, but like once it's like there, it's just out of the blue to where it's just like, you know. And Doc had to say no, it's the truth. But Doc had to say, and it was such a soft voice because she was talking. I was hearing noise, like nah, not you, no, not you.
The
I'm saying, but it was
other
just
party
like
in the room.
Yeah, it was like okay. And then Doc had to remind me because I grew up, like I said, single mother, two younger sisters, and so Doc had to remind me, soft voice, Arius, she's still a girl. I said, oh my God. I'm so sorry. You're so right, Doc. I'm so sorry. But growing up with 2 little sisters, I was used to, you know, letting them know, like, nah, you ain't go, you know, whatever. And so, but going through that, I say all that to say was, I didn't know that his absence had impacted me until moments like that. Wow. You know what I mean? To stay calm and really not, I still believe in, because I wanted to be a lawyer, so I still believe in letting it be known, you know, to a certain extent. But like coming back and really using that with strategy now and not picking and choosing my battles in terms of there's a total different makeup with, of course, with women versus men, but just even in the way that they respond and they communicate. Some things that I'm learning, you know, not sounding misogynistic or sexist, but women are just going to be women, you know. They're naturally more emotional, and I had to learn sensitivity too. Yes. I had to learn sensitivity because I think because I was raised so sensitively, like my family, like my mom would always be, we hug and, you know, kiss and kiss on the cheek, of course, you know, being clear because we got to be, you know, ain't no weird stuff. But, you know, just really caressing. I think that was my idea of coming in. Like, I can't be no sensitive Susie. No, you know, that's, I got to wake y'all up. But, you know, I was just, you know, it was just like that. Like, but that was me naturally. One of my colors, you do a real colors assessment because you're an IO psychologist. Yes. I'm the only one that can say that. My pastor's a psychologist. But anyway, you do the real colors assessment. I'm an orange green. And that green can be very rude. So just naturally growing up, I've probably always been seen as rude and very sharp and very to the point, very direct. I come from a very direct family, like just boom, that's it, So it's just like I had to learn all of that. So when you talk about, and I know I've been talking a while, I'm gonna let you talk, Ariana. But when you talk about character development, I'm talking about through the years. That's just one thing.
Right,
You know what I mean? When you talk about character development, yeah, I was battling with unforgiveness. People did me wrong. I want to stomp you. Like I want to get on that. But now it's like, okay, I have so much compassion. Cause like now even working in the field, behavioral health, it's just like, okay, I have compassion for you. That something led you to act this way. You are dealing with so much trauma, and it's something that I'm not used to. You do this way because you are, this is how you were developed. This is what, there are external contributions to your behavior. You know what I mean? And I have compassion for you. You taught me that, and this will be my last thing, I promise I'm yielding my time. But you taught me that when, because I would think that I forgave people, because I would forgive, and I would just reconcile in my heart. But no, not in my heart, in my mind. And I'd be like, okay, cool. I just don't have to speak though. I'm cool. I just walk past you. Because that was the other piece. At that point, you had become totally non-existent. Yeah. Like you had become just as good as that plant sitting there. It's like you literally don't exist.
Yeah, he's right.
And Doc would have to wrestle with me some more. You cannot, but I won't put her out there like that. But she would just train and, correct and tell me.
I'm not afraid.
Okay. Well, she would dig in my back. She would just, you can't do that. And, so I started to speak into people, and it was so hard for me to do. I'm going to say that, I'm going to look at my camera. I've been a church boy my whole life. A lot of y'all are struggling with that now. You say that you've forgiven somebody, but you can't even speak. That is so nominal. When you really think about it, that is so nominal. You walking right past us, you forgave them. Right. You said you forgave them, but you can't even speak. That's bitter.
Yeah,
that's miserable.
Oh, we've talked about that.
Right. So, yeah, that's character development. That's the stuff that we're going through while we're doing all those works. And I think that when you say people think that it's favoritism, no, that actually really bothers me, because no, it's not. No, it's not. Our backs have been dug in. Yeah, we've been destroyed.
Backs. Y'all have been built. We could pull up all the rocks.
It's for the greater good. It's for the greater good.
Pull up all the rocks. But Demarius, I am really proud of you, because it was something to. And he's absolutely right. And so, but I do want to say that journey prepared you for where you're at now, to be able to work with those people that you work with. You couldn't have worked with them with that type of mindset.
Very true.
So it's like, well, you need to go through all of that uprooting in order to go to the place that God needed you to be in. So it did take digging in backs. I'm not physically digging in their backs. That just means that they say I get on them, and so that's they words for she's digging in my back. But it was so funny that I've seen because it was phases with you. At first, I could tell that he was tuning me out. So when he was younger, it was like, okay, Doc, he's giving me this blank. That's the rap. That's when it was really physical wrestling. Like we was going back. That's where it got real physical. Like not physical, but we was wrestling because he not wanting to receive what I'm saying. But I went through and saw him go from a phase of doing that to a point where he was like, he'd listen and then he'd reach over the desk. Okay, Doc. Like, are you listening? It's like, okay, I'm receiving it, but this is just how I feel, and I respect you. That's how I know that he was getting to the point where he was like, I'm honoring you as my leader, but
we're just gonna agree to disagree.
We're just gonna disagree. We're just gonna disagree, and it's just like, okay, well, that's better than just looking at me like, I don't care what you're saying. So it's like it was levels to this. Yeah. So we moved from that phase to now I'm seeing you at a phase where you might still pull back, like, okay, well, but you're saying I'm really, really trying to understand this. And I watch you regurgitate what I've said. And you are a person that if you gonna state what you believe, he's not one that's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna just tell you all of this because you want to know. If he don't believe it, he doesn't believe it. So it's like, okay, so I'm really trying. I'm not playing. He'll say that I'm serious. I'm very serious. At first I'm thinking, boy, like, again, here we got to do this again. Like, I don't have the energy for this. It had got to the point where DeMarius, I need to meet. No, we're gonna meet this because I'm gonna need some sleep. Like before I come into any meeting with you, I got to.
No,
get
we're
my
not meeting
rest.
until next week.
We're not meeting until next week because I got to be. And he told me one day, well, you're not. I said, I have to. You have to realize in leadership, I got to make sure that I'm well enough to get in this ring with you because I got to handle you the right way.
She be getting
So
in the ring,
when
y'all.
I get in the ring, you can't just go and body slam him and break his leg. And you know how them MMA fighters come and they want to break, they intentionally try to break your arm and break it. And in football, they go in and break his leg. I can't do that. Like, at the end of the day, I don't care how nasty it gets. This is still a child of God. And so I have to be on the right path. You know, and I tell them that too. Like, listen, if you are not in a space and you need to breathe and you need to walk through, it is okay to say, no, I cannot talk to you right now. This is not about you. And I know you want me to meet with you, but right now it's not safe. You know, I am not a safe place for you right now. You know, so because I'm at a place where I'm irritated. I need Jesus. I'm gonna have to pray about this. We're gonna have to, we're gonna have to come to Jesus. You go and pray. Matter of fact, there's sometimes the marriage we came and said, we gonna fast. Like, you go fast, and before we come in this
Did you
ring.
pray before you came in here?
Man, did you pray? The marriage, did you pray? He got so bad. To the producers, we watch him pray, right?
Right.
Both of us sitting in that ring, we both praying and watching each other. Like, I'm watching you. He watching me, and we sitting here. Now, you imagine we sitting here going toe to toe. I'm praying, I'm watching you.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Those are some fun times. I was like, it wasn't fun. Let me take that back. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. It was challenging, but it stretched you, and I'm so proud of where I'm seeing you progress to, because it was like, woo. So I do take it personal when sometimes people are saying, you know, this and that, and then you don't know it, this and that. I know, I know, and he says it too. I'm like, I know, but I don't want people to think just because I'm meek don't mean I'm weak. But it's that you have to be very careful. Covering people, sometimes covering is just not getting out there and blasting people for what they done as a leader. It's just me coming and saying, I'm not a messy pastor, so I can't get out here and say, well, we went into the meeting. DeMarius says to me all the time, like, this is the first church I went to that I felt like I was in an HR session.
It was so good, y'all. DT, can I share a little bit about that? Just let me share, and then I'm going to be quiet, Arian, I promise. Y'all. Oh, my God. Now, I worked in human resources for just a little bit, probably a year. And you know, there's certain things that happen and whatever. Y'all, I got out of line one day, and it was a really catastrophic get out of line. This one was. I'm not gonna go into it, but let's just say Doc was putting her finger in my chest, and I was backing out the door. You have too much to lose.
Oh my God.
That's what she was saying to me, you know, and I was just hiding, you know, and then we met the next week after that, and y'all, I got a corrective action plan. I had lines of what I needed to do. I had videos to watch as well as homework to do, just to go through this process. And I was like, this is I appreciated it. It wasn't like, I'm like, oh my God, I am in the right church. I mean, such a professional process throughout that thing. So I was just, some people probably would have been, you know, feeling some type of way, but I was so appreciative of the plan. I'm like, wow, we are really in a professional church. I got a whole corrective action plan, you know, so I just thought that was amazing.
Yeah, that was funny because DeMarius came in and I think he thought he was going to, well, no, we're not talking.
Yeah.
He's like, well, am I going to do I have yep, I'll let you know. DeMarius was sitting there like, no. We not finna do this. And so I thank God, because I know that it's been a journey, and sometimes people don't see. They don't see behind. They don't know our story.
That's right.
And so they look on the outside, and sometimes they look on. We're all still a work in progress, until he comes. We're still on a journey to becoming and pursuing Christ and becoming more like him. However, there is process, there's progress in our makings. And so sometimes people don't know our entire story. So I'm kind of looking like, no, everybody, we still working, but I didn't dealt with Demarius for over, 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. So I know, like you just arrived,
Correct.
but you didn't see the beginning. And sometimes we're coming in on the middle or the tail end, trying to give counsel and an understanding, and you were never there in the beginning.
Correct. Correct.
So that's important. Ariane, what about you? What has been your character pieces? And we're talking about identity and being shaped and molded and all of those things. Being made, because this is all about our making.
I would say for me, kind of like bouncing off of what Demarius said, as far as, and then what you said too, like going into, that's such an awesome segue into, we also have our struggles, and mine's would be like, I'm being honest and real. Mine's is forgiveness. Like that's something that's a constant battle that, as far as like being Christ-like and forgiving, but then also wrestling with my like flesh. And like Demarius, says sometimes I be wanting like a little mink, little 2-piece combo. But, I don't do that. I'm. But I think that's, for me, I would say that's something that I'm still kind of like, it's like ups and downs, really, as far as like things from the past and, forgiving individuals. And I feel like I'm kind of reaching that mountain peak of like, I'm able to speak to them now and hold conversations and stuff like that. But I feel like for me, I think my thing that I'm kind of still like battling and struggling with too is like, it's such a lengthy process for me, like, and I feel like that's where that bitterness and resentment comes in at, because I've noticed with me it takes like a while, like a good minute, but it's been getting shorter, so nobody judge, like we all got our struggles.
Facts.
Yeah, we got our struggles. So mine's is forgiveness, but God is still working on me, and I see growth and in certain areas and stuff like that too. So yeah, I'm still working on it.
Yeah, and I must say that you have had some challenges in what you've wrestled with, and I think I've probably wrestled with you too in prayer and just wrestling in prayer. Come on, Aaron. Come on. Let's go in here. Let me just show up to the house. And you're like, what is going on, Mama? Let me show up to the house and just walk around here and let's pray.
Y'all, pause. This lady came to my house probably like at 5 or 6 p.m. like randomly. I'm on the couch and stuff watching TV, and she just comes in. Her and my dad got the keys to the house, so can't do much about that. They're walking in sometimes. Yeah. But she comes in and she gets to put on this warfare music on YouTube on the TV screen, and she's going in on prayer, and she's like, Shia, you gotta stand up. She gets to speak in the heavenly language and praying, and it's neat. I love that. I love having a mom that is prayerful and stuff like that. I definitely think that you've accompanied me along with like the Holy Spirit is like getting out of some stuff. So I appreciate that. But
yeah, you've had to stand in the whirlwind too, which is I've watched you stand in some stuff that I don't know if I could have just maintained those bearings, but I've said to you that same thing, positioning for where you're going to go. That some of those things that you've encountered that you just had to kind of like sit here and say, okay, it's like I'm being stripped of all of this different stuff that's preparing me for where I'm going. So so you walk in, when we talk about identity, now you're walking in legal, you have authority over the matter, because it's like, okay, I've God has brought me out of this, and he's given me authority to go and snatch other people out of those spaces.
Yeah. And I would agree with that too. I think that's another thing too. I've kind of been like, not struggling with, but like sometimes like, oh man, like God, I done went through this, or this is going on, and kind of going back to that as far as like, one day, or, if I meet another young lady or something like that, being able to have them and share my testimony and experiences and stuff like that too, and being able to help somebody else. So that's I think that's the thing I kind of like the mindset I have toward it. But it's been like you said, a journey, and it's tough, and every day you gotta keep going. And sometimes certain things, I think another big thing is too is like as far as forgiveness, sometimes you're triggered by certain things, whether it's a phrase or you know, a certain individual and stuff like that too. But kind of like that's constant battle, like constantly keep on praying about that too. So yeah.
Yeah, and the most important thing is that we never forget where we come from and where God brought us from, but you don't want to look back because you may sacrifice who's in front of you, you know, and what you need to impart and give to them based on what you went through, you know. And so sometimes what it is, I don't think that God brings upon all of those things on us, but I believe that he does use it for his glory, so he gets the glory out of it. It's like, wow. And so I must say that I've seen definitely him do a work in you, and it's amazing because these are tough conversations and different things that I've had with you all individually, but then I look at the scope of where you're going and where you're heading and who you're serving, and it's like, oh wow, that's why I had to wrestle with them. So they can make it to the other side. Yeah. But y'all know what? Y'all gonna have to wrestle with some people.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I think y'all already wrestling.
I was about to say, I think we've certainly seen a glimpse of that, like going through when we were doing Chosen. For those who don't know, that was a youth group where we had an array of teenagers, 13 to 18, and they would come in. We would basically teach them life skills, and you know, we would do kind of like a check-in. Ariane will facilitate that, or I would sometimes, and just really have them come in as an outlet. Some of the individuals were court subpoenaed. You know, some of them were being expelled, or you know, battling with homosexuality, or you know, on drugs, or whatever the case may be. We just really had what the world would label as at-risk youth, and we would teach them, and that was a wrestle.
That was a wrestle.
For sure. And I think a lot of times I would step out, because when I think of Christ, as Ariana and I being the youth leaders were at that time, being the youth leaders, Ariana's very lamby, you know, very compassionate, and you know, and then I was kind of a lion, you know, so it's like, oftentimes I would have to tell Ariana, you deal with this. I'm going to step out the room, because I would kind of feel myself beginning to like, because you have to, you know, you starting to shift and wrestle, because it's like, you trying to,
who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Who are you talking
and that was my main thing, like, who are you talking to? You know, and that would be my main question, you know, but I would, going through those dynamics, you do start to experience some of the wrestling. You do start to experience some of the things that you battled with. You start to see in other people, and you know, figuring out how you can help them, and really being able to identify, like, wow, and then it's like a measurement, like, Lord, thank you for how far you brought me, because I remember a time where I would have, or I could have, or I should not should have, but you know. But where, you know, I would have behaved that way. And so I think we certainly have experienced that in, you know, different ways. Even with people, you know, getting cut off in traffic, I would flip people off, and really, you know, I'm just being honest, Doc. You know, I would just really do that. But I'm starting to see myself, you know, like not even do that, and all the rest of it, you know.
Or not think about doing it.
No, not even think about it. It doesn't even cross my mind. I get very upset still, you know. It's like, oh, you know, like, why are you doing that? But I don't, a cuss word doesn't even cross my mind, or I don't flip them off, you know, like I used to, or I would.
Glory be to God. You're not doing that.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, you all. I'm not doing it. Yeah. I'm just, you know, saying where God has brought us from, as far as character. And if I may, Doc, one last thing, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I still am very critical, but I was even more. Oh, you don't have to shake your head.
I concur.
But you know what? I think that
there's been some deliverance.
I think that there's been some deliverance, but I think that also people have to recognize, not you or anybody, I'm saying people have to recognize that and I guess that's the battle, right? Like you have to, you said this too, Doc, and I learned this from you. That was good to me too. You can't give people 100% of you. That was my raising, just give them 100% because that's the only way I know how, like this is me, this is what I'm giving to you. This is, I think you expect the same in return, that reciprocity.
Yeah.
But some people you got to give 80, you got to give 60, you got to give, because a lot of the criticalness is like, what may be areas of improvement, like, oh, instead of this, you could do this, or whatever the case may be. Or just hard down, that direct stuff, like, your breath stinks, or those are terrible shoes, or whatever the case may be. And really learning, again, back to that sensitivity, or, that those percentages, or.
Yes.
But just really trying to draw back on that, and really trying to still find that space, because I to me, and you have to realize everybody's not you. I appreciate bluntness, I appreciate directness, I appreciate
and I had to deal with you that way.
And I that's why I appreciate it. When you dig in my back now, it's like, okay, dog, solid, okay, let's go. I can appreciate, but when you kind of the lammy. And it's nothing against Ron's lammy, it's not because though there is a people for the lambs, you know what I mean? But when you dealing,
for the lambs.
when you dealing with like a lion, it's like you gotta roar with the lion, so that's the thing I understand, so we're going through that and understanding that piece too, is meeting people where they are actually, and not the way you think you should show up, but actually meeting them where they are, was important too.
Yeah, and that goes back to a couple episodes where I was talking about observation, and how you have to take time to learn who you're working with. So somebody may come and say, why is she talking to him? Because this is what he understands, or I have to be more, like you said, lammy with Ariane. I couldn't come, but I had to learn that. I remember the first time you said, Doc, just tell me like I'm one of Ariane or Shia. Just tell me. And I wouldn't do that. I said no. And so he kept wondering, like, why? And I kept telling him, like, nope. He still didn't. Why? And I had to eventually, I've always trained that, because I really want you to understand my heart, so that when I do, because I will get to a point, we'll get to a point where I'll be very, very raw and very, very blunt. But I don't want you to run away because now I can't handle what this person's giving me because it came too soon. So then I need you to know, because if you came from your former place and they mistreated you or whatever happened and you were upset, now you're looking at me thinking I'm doing the same stuff because it's residue and it's too I haven't healed yet. So the best thing for me, it's the trigger. So the best thing for me to do is be a safe space and not, and some people are like, that ain't being honest. Yeah, but can you handle honesty right now? Do you want me to tell you the truth, or do you want me to tell you what you want to hear? I have a cousin, shout out to Doretha. She used to say that all the time. Do you want me to tell you the truth, or do you want me to tell you what you want to hear? Some people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear what they want to hear. So I'm not going to deplete all of my energy giving you what you need, and you going to just reject it anyway, and you don't want to hear it. So, but I will continue to build that relationship with you. And then once we get to a point, then I can, because I had to look at the fact of my daughters. Yeah, I might be very blunt and upfront with them, but I can't do the same with everybody else, because I got to let you know that, listen, when I tell you this, I love you, and I'm saying this because I really want the best for you. It's not because I'm trying to damage you and I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that. But if you in a space that you can't receive the truth, it's like, let's keep coming to session. Let's keep meeting. Let me keep calling you, and let's meet back here on Tuesday and have some more dialogue, because then you get to know me, and then I'm studying you and what it's going to take. So I eventually learned, like, no, I got to be very direct with him. Like, don't do it. So somebody like, that's kind of short. Nope, that's what he needs that.
I really do. And Doc, what you said was just, I mean, you just sold it up, like that 100%. Because when I would do it, when I would tell people, it wasn't, and I've talked to you about that, like, it wasn't to destroy them or to like make them feel bad. I genuinely again, thinking from my perspective, I'm just giving you the real. I'm just giving you what it is, in a way maybe that, but they couldn't probably receive it that way because of the way, I'm giving it to them, because that's how I would take it.
Right. Right.
But just really, really assessing and building rapport,
right.
Because I think it was also rooted in I wasn't necessarily caring about building rapport.
Yep.
I'm just telling you what it is.
Right.
Take it or leave it.
That's
I don't care whether you're damaged or not.
Right.
Years ago.
Yeah. This is
but it's just like I don't care. This is what it is. Either you gonna do it or you not, or you gonna take it how you want to take it. But now it's a little bit more compassion. Like I do care how people, are taking stuff.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yep. Because you did have to learn, like, Damaris, you don't know the backstory.
Exactly.
You haven't assessed enough. You got to give grace because you don't know what the situation. We don't know why they, this person is going. You have to be very, 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 very careful. And so that's studying individuals and saying, oh, I got to approach them this way or that way. And then you have some people who are chameleons. So I got to study you a little bit longer because I got to figure out, is this real or what's going on here? So it's a lot of that before you can, but it helped along the way. Ariane, you got any?
Oh, no, I would, no. Mm-mm.
I got one just final thing that I wanted to kind of bring out that I talked about in this. I looked at Ephesians 2:10 that says, for we are his workmanship, his own masterwork, a work of art, created in Christ Jesus, reborn from above, spiritually transformed, renewed, ready to be used for good works, which God prepared for us beforehand, taking paths which he set so that we would walk in them, living the good life, which he prearranged and made ready for us. I use this multiple times in this in the book. And I follow up with this. You were created to create. God gave you a total makeover. And no matter what challenges you face, you were created in Christ Jesus for good works. When you were created, he custom made your assignments and he positioned you on the path before you. I know how challenges can make you feel unqualified, and it's if you've made a big mistake and possibly have taken on more than what you can handle. However, in the tough times when things seem as though they are falling apart, the fact still remains that you are his workmanship. And that's what y'all have both explained in showing that he's still fashioning you and still shaping and forming you. But the fact that God gave you a total makeover, we can be excited about that. Mm-hmm. Any final thoughts? Any final words?
And embracing that. Embracing that God has given you a total makeover. Because in my experience, people will attempt to keep you there. Mm-hmm. People will attempt to keep you where you were, and I have experienced that, I've experienced it. I'll just say that, where people will try to hold you and lock you in where you used to be, what you used to do, how you used to move, what you used to say, you don't know me. I'm sorry. You really don't know me. Yep. And I, and God knows I'm saying that humbly. I'm saying that very respectfully. I would love for you to get to know the new me and learn about a man named Jesus. Shit about a Hyundai. I really.
Yo, no, you did not just.
I just felt the Lord quicken, but really get to know Demarius in Christ. No, seriously, because you want to keep me there, and I'm okay with that. But don't come around and new me with that. I'm embracing this newness. Yeah. I'm embracing. The word says everything is new. Yeah. Behold, everything is new. I'm a new creature. It's a total new creation. You don't know me. Yeah. Respectfully, you don't know me. In Christ.
Yeah. Right.
So embracing that workmanship. You may see glimpses of, because Paul described that. We went over that Wednesday. Paul described that, my will is here, but my practice isn't. You know what I mean? There is a struggle with my flesh. You know what I mean? I may want to respond a certain way, but no.
You're not going to get that.
The Lord is coming over. Holy Spirit rises up. The God in me rises up. Ariana, I know. It still happens sometimes.
Yeah,
it still happens sometimes. That's what she was looking like. It still happens sometimes, and that's what I'm saying. It still may happen sometime, but I'm new. It's a workmanship. It's everything is new.
He's fast.
And yeah, and it's a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes, that's it.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
And it's so true what you're saying, because people, I used to say that all the time. That's the 1998 version of me. You don't know me. I haven't talked to you in 10 years. So how can you say that you know me? You just know what you knew of me.
Yeah.
But you don't know this new part of me, of who that is. You know, and some people,
strangers, kind of, sort of. You know.
And some people are committed to keeping you in that place that they want, because they really are. They really just terrified to know the meet the new, who you are.
That's so good.
Who he's bringing you to be. It don't mean that we don't have struggles and different things like that, but some people are committed to. It's like you said, sit down and get to know me, because you going off of something from 10 years ago. I can't even relate. We don't even relate. We're not.
No.
Where is this? Because we gotta get reacquainted.
Right.
Because there is. And so you have to think of that. What about you, Ariane?
I would say just like these the last two questions, like all of us being super authentic, and then being able to come and say like, yes, we're all having the identity of Christ, but all of us have not arrived. I think that's another thing. True. Nobody has arrived. So I think just,
can we get 30 more minutes of just that?
Tim and Denise like, all right.
It's time to wrap
up. Y'all really preachers. Y'all this y'all fifth close. Y'all done closed about 5 times. You really raising up some preachers here, because they didn't close about 5 times. We on our 6th close.
No, but I just love like authentic. My gosh,
authenticity.
Yes, authenticity.
Yep.
And being able to come and say like, yes, we all are lovers of Jesus and we're followers of Christ, but we all have flaws, and I think that's a part of our identity and a part of like your past and who you are and stuff like that, and that's merging into like your new identity, but not being able to like take all that ugliness and stuff that we went through and all of the bad, we're trying to remove all that, but those experiences are kind of helping shape who you are and being able to even push you, even I would say something like your struggles and stuff. Your testimony is pushing you to get to that identity with Christ. So I just love authentic conversations and all of us being able to be super real, and I think that's my just living life unmasked.
That's the
Yeah, let's do it. Y'all got some exciting projects. We're gonna close for real. I'm so excited. We're gonna close. We're preachers. We pray and we preach.
You are the only
preacher.
I
don't understand.
Only preacher.
I see y'all in y'all future, and it looks bright. And so I see it. So that's why they doing that. That's why we kind of doing this together. But I do want to take a moment, because it is so important that both of you, I just want to share what you're doing. I know that y'all show so much humility, and because I pushed you to say what you do, but you didn't share it all. And so I do want people to know what you're doing, and so just about 30 seconds, so that Denise and Tim, they don't get us, but about 30 seconds, because you got some Life Unmasked, you got some stuff. So 30 seconds of what you're doing and how they can check you out on your socials and what God is doing for you.
Yes.
30 seconds.
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Feelin the Art, FEELIN, no G, the art. You can also follow me on Facebook at Life Unmasked. Stay tuned for some art therapy groups coming your way. And this was your girl, Ariane.
Yay, some art therapy groups.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Apostle. I'm just overwhelmingly elated to be here with you and have this opportunity to share the stage with you. Honor. Thank you. Right now, what's happening is, of course, as Doc mentioned, I did just release a new book called The Art of Networking. It is now available on Amazon for purchase. I will be at a few different community events, so you can purchase in person if that's what you want to do. I'm also working on my second book, so please stay tuned for that. As well as a journal with it. So you will be able to purchase that bundle, and then stay tuned for next year. I'm going to just announce it here. Doc, I talked to Doc about it.
Ready? You feeling ready?
Well, maybe not then. Okay, never mind. Yeah. All right, well, just stay tuned. And you can also follow me at A Conversation for the Cause on Facebook. You'll be getting some uplifting posts. You'll get some Monday motivation, and then some current event topics that I would like to discuss and kind of get perspective and my spin on. All right.
Let's I hope y'all just put it in the chat. They are absolutely fire. I'm so godly proud of them.
Thank you for
and
having
all
us
of God is doing. It's so much that they haven't even released yet. So please, please, please watch for it. Wait for it, because you know what? Sometimes we watching, but we ain't saying nothing.
That's
So just please.
That's
So
another
please,
episode.
please. They watching, but they ain't saying nothing. So make sure that you get in and take advantage of all of the greatness that's here today. So thank you so much. I thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Please share. I know that you know somebody that would absolutely be blessed by what you have seen today. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can check out all of this as we continue to go on. This is something new for me, and I'm really starting to really like this.
Yeah.
This is really great. And so I thank God. Shout out to True Conglomerate.
Shout out True Conglomerate. True Conglomerate.
And please check me out on IG. I'm also now on TikTok. I'm trying to find my tribe, trying to find my people. So make sure that you please like and share. Until we meet again, y'all keep being great. Thank you so much for tuning in to A Piece of Her. I have enjoyed this conversation, and I really hope that you have too. Please, if you have not already subscribed to this page, make sure that you subscribe, like, follow, and share. Share. I know that you know someone that's in business, or maybe you want to be an author, you're an aspiring author that really needs to hear this. Make sure you're not stingy. Share.